Jason Colthorpe joins us now to kind of break down what this star witness, all he had to say today, Jason.
Yeah, and as part of Ty Garbin's guilty plea to a lesser charge, he testified about the men he allegedly plotted with to kidnap Governor Whitmer in the days before the 2020 election. This was in federal court today, where no cameras or recording equipment was allowed.
On direct examination, Ty Garbin, the 26-year-old from Livingston County who cut a deal with the government, told jurors the kidnapping of Governor Gretchen Whitmer with Adam Fox, Brandon Caserta, Daniel Harris, and Barry Croft was to be the event that started a second civil war. Garbin gave specifics of the training sessions at several locations leading up to their arrests in October of 2020. They would build shoot houses to simulate rooms in the state capitol and the governor's vacation home until they decided kidnapping her from the capitol just wasn't feasible. As the plan to grab the governor, whom they called the asset, evolved, Garbin testified about twice surveilling her house in Elk Rapids, trying to raise about $4,000 to buy an explosive to blow up a bridge to aid in their escape from that area. But as the 2020 presidential election neared, there was concern of Governor Whitmer possibly being appointed to then-candidate Joe Biden's cabinet if he won, which would increase the security around her. So they determined they had to be ready at a moment's notice to try and kidnap her and then either set her adrift in Lake Michigan or execute her.
We have heard kind of the framework of today's testimony before, but there were more specific details that are new and obviously chilling. At 6, more of that, including a number of people one of the defendants wanted to kill and the weapons they were attempting to get to prepare. You heard me mention talking about her getting appointed to the cabinet.
Right.
That was like just a talking point, but in this case, they testified that, that was something they discussed and how it could change their plans.
Just another level of the strategizing that prosecutors say was going on.
Just still chilling, even now to hear.
Yeah, sure is. All right, Jason.
Thank you, Jason.